What's going on there, gamers? Welcome back to another high quality video here on the That Guy channel. I'm probably going to change the name soon. But today we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a yap session going on here. We're going to have ourselves a little bit of a yap session on a topic that I am pretty passionate about. Book. Screenwriting. Oh, storytelling, guys. The magical world of storytelling and screenwriting. And the reason that we're going to be talking about this is because, one of my goals in life is to write a screenplay and get it made into a movie. That's one of my big goals. Even if it's only one, I just want to be able to say, hey, I wrote a movie that was seen in theaters, okay? Okay, so that's why I've been interested in screenwriting for a while. This book right here was the very first screenwriting book I ever got. Save the Cat, the last screenwriting book that you'll ever need. Got this probably 4 years ago. I think it was 2018 or 20. No, that would have been longer. Maybe 5 years ago. I think it was 2019 I got this book. I remember getting this book. I think I was a junior, or maybe I don't even know. I don't know. I forget what year it was. But got this book, and it's a pretty it's a pretty good book. It's a shorter one too. It's on the shorter side. I think it's 140 something pages. It's a little bit more approachable. This copy is kind of messed up because I ordered it on Amazon, and I thought I was gonna get a new copy, but I actually got a used one. But I don't really mind because there's already stuff in there that are highlighted and stuff. So it's pretty cool to see that. And basically what it has here is it has a bunch of tips, let me go to the chapters. Say, what is it about? Has tips on writing a log line. And if you don't know what a log line is, it's a stupid monkey goes searching in the jungle for his mother. It's a 1 sentence summary of the movie. That was a bad one. I'm not good at coming up with stuff like that on the spot. Okay, you got that, because the log line's important. It's telling you the 4 key things that you should have in your log line. Blah, blah, blah. Then it talks about, this one's actually pretty cool. It talks about what is it? And it gives you genres, but they're not the normal genres like comedy or romance or stuff like Monster in the House. There's Dude with a Problem, Fool's Triumphant. There's a lot of other ones. There's 10 different genres, and they're based on the story types and plots and stuff more than comedy, hee funny, action, boom, 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 stuff like that. Pretty interesting look at it. I've never seen the genres. I've never seen genres broken down like that. Blah, blah, blah. Then it talks about hero, making sure your hero is, making sure your hero is interesting, which is very important because that the hero, the protagonist, you're going to follow them for the movie. So you got to make sure that they're they're interesting character. They got flaws. They got desires. They have to have a goal. They have to be I've heard they have to be an active protagonist. They got to go forward and try to solve their problems. Try whatever they can to solve their problems. Okay? They got to be active. And also in the book, they talk about primal urges. For example, in the movie, they're one of the primal urges things survival, food, safety, your family. Oh, your family, you want to save your family. Oh, you want to survive in the jungle. You want to do all this other stuff. Primal urges, simple primal urges, so that the audience can relate to this character and relate to their struggles and be like, you know what? Yeah, that guy's good. That guy is good. I want to watch this character for an hour and 30 or however long the movie is. Okay. Then they got my favorite part, which is the Save the Cat 15 story beats. Now this one is a way to outline the movie. Let me actually turn to the page. It's actually a great method. I have used this one a lot, when I'm trying to, okay, so here, let me show you. Hopefully you can see this. Here, right there you go, right there. We got, opening image, theme stated, setup, catalyst, debate, and breaking the 2. That's all Act 1. Act 2, Part 1. B story, fun and games, midpoint. Act 2, Part 2. Bad guys close in. All is lost. Dark Night of the Soul, breaking the 3. Act 3, finale, final image, okay? It's a very interesting way to break it up, because like the first act, of course you got the setup, you gotta set up your world, you gotta introduce your characters, like what world are they living in, what is the, like, how is your character like, what is the before like, what is their normal everyday life like. And then the catalyst. That is when the event that changes everything, That's the thing that's like takes their normal world, throws it out the window, breaks it, stomps on it, burns it, dude. No more. No more. And then, but the story, the catalyst. But then you got the debate, which is like, the debate's like, they're like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna be like, say the catalyst is that, oh, their dad runs away and they gotta go, he's going to New York, and they're like, they gotta catch him before he gets to New York or whatever. They gotta catch him. The debates be like, why is my father doing this? Am I able to do this? Am I gonna be able to do this? What the heck is going on? Or if like they're trapped somewhere, they get kidnapped. They're like, I can't believe this happened to me. Why is this happening to me? Blah blah blah. And then breaking the two is when they're like, you know what? I'm doing this. Or they're like in their survival situation, like, you know what? I am going to try to survive. I am going to try to do all I can to get out of the scenario. That is breaking the three. That is breaking the two, okay? That is when they're like, you know what? That's when the plot really gets going, The other parts are like, set up, and then you got the catalyst, and then it's like the reaction to the catalyst. But this is the part where they're like, you know what? Go time, baby. It's go time. It's go time. B story, fun and games. I know this section is kind of a little bit confusing. It's like fun and games is like the promise of the premise. So if it's like a crazy action movie, with a lot of stuff, you want to have a lot of explosions and stuff, or you want to have that throughout the movie. But like that's the fun and games part, and then of course you get the midpoint, And I like how it's like Act 2 was split up into two parts, because Act 2 was a really long one. So like the midpoint, like the midpoint is kind of like, how the catalyst was like, the point where it's like, okay, everything's changing. Well, this is also what the midpoint is. This is when another moment changes that makes it so they can't go back to the other way. It's another giant thing. Like, say they're finding their father, they're going, and they figured out that their father is a drug dealer or something. I don't know. That changes everything. Another big thing. Then you got bad guys closing in, which is like, oh no, everything's crumbling down. They're catching up to us, and then all is lost is like, they're sad, bro. They're just like, they're moody, they're emo. They're just like, man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to complete this, man. We're done. We're done for. We are done for. Dark Night of the Soul, the emotional moment, guys. The emotional moment, breaking the three, blah, 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 blah. That's all it is, okay? This book is pretty good. I've read it through. The plot points have really helped me trying to plan out stories, my screenplays. They also have one for books, too, but I mostly use it for my screenplays. But I've never actually written a full screenplay before, because it's just, I don't know, I just have a problem with it, dude. Like, I just can't figure out what comes next. It's like, I have the basics. I'm like, okay, I have the inciting incident, but then I don't know, like, what comes after that, or, like, I don't know how to make it seem interesting, It's like, how do I make this, like, what events happen? Like, what events logically happen? I don't just want it to be a cluster of different events and stuff going together. I actually want it to make sense, and, like, I want the character to have, like a good journey. I want it to be impactful, pack a punch, okay? I just have a hard time with that. I just have a hard time coming up with ideas for different things, and also just writing too in general. Like when I write, my writing's not good, and I end up writing less than I thought. I'm an underwriter. It's just a problem. I don't know how to solve it. I need to just sit down, and also I have a thing where I'm like, oh, idea, like this idea, and then I get bored really easily, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to this idea again. I need to find out a way just to stick to one idea. I do have this one idea that I'm going to try to do. I keep going back and forth between making it a TV series and making it a movie. I think I'm going to start as a movie. But it's just like, I don't know how to make it. It's like a romantic comedy, but like, I don't know. A lot of romantic comedy is really generic. It's just, I don't know how to add that, like, that pizzazz, that like extra juice in it to make it good, to make it good. That's what I want to do. I want to add that extra juice. not just about how like a twist to it, but I just don't know what to do. And I don't know how to like make it logically build up like cause and effect and stuff, because I've seen that tip from like the guys who wrote South Park. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've been watching a lot of courses, like reading, watching a lot of videos and stuff, but I feel like I just need to write. But writing is just, it's very challenging. It's very challenging to have a creative thing and like actually outline and plan out and write down the movie, and especially dialogue too. I have a hard time with dialogue, trying to not make it sound robotic and all wooden and stuff. I want to make it sound like it's actually being said by real people and not just really dumb and like just put out a bunch of exposition like, yeah, did you know that when we were 3? Yeah, dude, I remember that time when we were 3 years old and your dad told us that he didn't like you, man. That was crazy. I bet that really shaped your formative years and really made you scared of your dad. Like, see, no, I don't want that. That's not good dialogue. That's not good dialogue. I don't know. See, this is basically a yap session. I think this yap session is over now. Just kind of wanted to talk about that. I'm in the living room right now. I was bored. I decided to make a video. That's what I do when I'm bored. When I'm bored, I'm like, you know what? Nothing else to do. Why not make a video? Why not make a stupid freaking video? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for yelling. I'm sorry for yelling. Okay. Thank you guys for watching this, whatever. See you in the next video. I don't really know when that's going to be, but bye. Ha ha!